Morning, folks. It's 7:40ish. What is this? Hey, Wednesday. This week is dragging because I'm almost flat freaking broke, and payday's coming up, and then even when payday gets here, it'll be gone like really quickly. Well, yesterday I got home and I'm trying hard to get done with the Mustang 60 group build, and I had yard work to do. I figured I better get it done because it's supposed to rain today. So I went to fire the mower up and opened the gas tank on it, and it's totally empty. So I put gas in it, and my can only had enough to do maybe half a tank, which isn't enough to do the front yard. So I gotta close the garage, drive down the gas station, get some gas, come back. And in the meantime, that half tank was gone because it kind of pedaled down through the system. My tank must be oddly shaped, so it must have expanded and went down into the other recesses of the tank. So I'm like, holy crap, because I know when I fill that thing, I can fill it to the brim and watch it go down. Then fill it up, it goes down, fill it up, it goes down a little bit, then fill it up a little bit more. So it's a pretty big tank. So I filled it up and got the grass going, and being as out of shape as I am, it took me longer than normal. So did that, ate some dinner, and worked on the Mustang. But I stopped at the post office also on my way home, and I had a bunch of shop cards. So this is going to be a shop card shout out thing and a little update on some things, and that'll be about it. So anyhow, my first shop cards come from none other than Mark Batson, Hobby Dude 007. I think everybody knows him. If you aren't subscribed already, go subscribe. Okay, great man, very good human being. He's got a wonderful wife. He's a very extraordinary model builder, as you can see here. He's a NASCAR type of guy. But look at this. And then this. If you're not impressed with that, then, well, I don't know what to tell you. But, yeah, so thank you, Mark. Very kind words on the back and words of encouragement and all that. And I'll have to look up that little scripture thing you wrote back there, because I'll have to look that up online, because I'm a heathen. Okay, I'll admit to it, I'm a heathen, and I don't even own a Bible. I had one, I don't know what happened to it. I never cracked it open. But, not that I'm a bad person, I just, I don't open any books, really. But anyhow, let's put the sticker to use. This is one of my, Come on, sticker. Come off the backing. And this is what I got to get to. I got to get more stickers ordered up as soon as I have the extra cash. But let's put Mr. Hobby Dude. There he is. So I got another sticker on my case there. Okay, then let's move on here. I think this, if I could read this right, this is Gemini Scale Model Works. If it flies, floats, or rolls, I'll build it. And there's some of his work there. And I believe, oh, there's some on the back. To my railroad channel, one firehouse in Hayes, Kansas. Very cool. Build a replica for a model railroad. Very nice. And I believe his name is Vinnie. That's what the signature looks like. But yeah, thank you so much. And if you aren't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Go check him out. But yeah, well, BNSF, yeah, so he's model railroad and everything. Because I know that. So, yeah, it seems like Vinny's into a little bit of everything, so he spreads himself all over the place. I actually like the model railroad stuff too, but I have limited space and funds. I'd probably have everything. I've said it before. I'd have a giant model railroad, a giant slot car track. I'd have models everywhere, die cast everywhere. If I ever hit the mega lottery, watch out, because I'm going to have everything. And it's just going to be big and huge. And then when I die, my girlfriend and my family's got to figure out what to do with all these toys, as they would call it. And then from JT, the signature here is, I need my garage time. Build it your way or no way. Nice adage. Nice little picture there on the thing. Very cool. Yeah, it looks like my workbench. And this one's a double-sided. And another cool little picture. So if you aren't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Very cool. And I believe that's JT. And some encouraging little note here, so thank you very much. Yeah, cool. Very nice. So yeah, so more shop cards for my collection. I gotta put these on the wall at home. I gotta eventually get some better way to put them. I may even just transfer them into like a photo album at some point. The double-sided ones are kind of a bummer because you can't, see both sides of them unless you get something with a clear page. But yeah, thank you so much. That's more to the collection. So now, I was going to bring the Mustang for the 60 group build, but honestly, it's not really in transport mode right now. So it's not going to happen. Let's get this out of the tripod here. See, that's the cheap little crappy tripod I use with the little flexi legs and this clamp thing here that likes to let the phone go. But anyhow, I got some color on the old 41 Rat Rod tow truck and did some weathering to it. It kind of did technically sand through there on the cowling. It actually chipped the paint off because it is a resin body. So the paint may have not stuck to it as well, but I could touch that up with some primer and some brush painting and some sanding, and it's getting weathered anyhow. So that's the nice thing about this. But anyhow, yeah, I got some decals. They're going to get weathered up. In fact, they're going to get weathered up today. I brought a bunch of my stuff to work. I got some weathering powders. I got my Dremel. Now the fenders and the lower half of the truck here, and the hood, are all whatchamacallit. They're plastic, but I'm going to rot these fenders out a little bit at the bottom edges here. Dremel some holes and put some rusting powders on them. But yeah, it's gotten a little further. I went with the Sunoco colors. But it's going to get some washes and some powders and some holes and some texture, like, wherever it did go through. Sanding is odd. I've noticed over the years, like, this is both Tamiya paints. And, like, sometimes, you're sanding, and it's like, come on, sand, nothing's happening. And then it starts going through slowly. Other times, one scuff and you're through, and you're not only to the primer, you're down to the bare plastic. And other times, the same brand paint, but two different colors can sand totally differently. Like, it's really a hit or miss. And it depends on the, what grade sandpaper you're using, and it depends on, wet or dry. I always go wet with it, but sometimes it's like 1, 2, 3, and you're through. Sometimes it's 30 strokes, and you're not even touching it. So, it's always a crapshoot. But, anywhere I go through, luckily on weathered cars, you touch it up with primer. I put a spot of gray primer there. It doesn't matter. It's supposed to be a beater. But, yeah, it's coming along. Like I said, it's going to sit actually more like that once it's glued. But, got some decals on it. About all the decals it's going to get. And the only other thing it's going to get is a light. Well, I might get some. Excuse me again. I was up late last night trying to get that Mustang done. And, I'll probably get some decals on the tank there. And it might get some on the engine. I'm not sure. But, yeah, it's going. Engine's no further along than it was last time. It's just sitting in there. It's not glued in yet, of course. The interior on this, I got to do something with that. Figure out where I'm going on it. But, yeah, just want to do that quick little update. But you can see it, you know, it's sanded through in some places there too, so I got to touch that up. But I'm going to mess with that a little bit before I have to clock in. Oh, excuse me. 2 days in a row. Tonight I'll probably get to bed maybe a little earlier, because I should have the Mustang finished up, whatchamacallit, this evening, and then I can make the video for it, because it's due the 17th, which, of course, today's the 17th. So, but that's where we're at, so I want to do that shop card shout out and do a little update on this. And as for the shop today, we don't have much going that I know of, but that could change. These two are waiting on product to finish. They went out for spray and bed liners. They're both for a company, and we're just waiting on the a bed slide and. God, excuse me. I really apologize for yawning all the time. Jeez. But like I said, I got probably like 5 hours sleep maybe. So yeah, 2 days in a row. Hopefully tonight I get a little more. But yeah, like I said, we're just waiting on parts on those. This thing here is the never-ending story. You've heard that movie? Well, we keep joking. Literally, this guy that owns this thing comes in at least once a week, and he goes, "Oh, Del, that's great. Oh, great, great, great. Oh, it's beautiful. Great, great, great. Hey, could you, while you're at it, could you do this? Hey, could you also add this? And hey, could you do this? And could you, oh my God." So hopefully it's technically, I think we're waiting on a couple things on this rear fenders area that Tom has to do on it yet. And I am hoping it's done. But anyhow, yeah, our wonderful fabricator, Tom, came up with these beautifully welded brackets he made. He cut all this metal himself and welded it to put these lights on, because nobody really made any brackets to put lights on these up on the cowl here, believe it or not. And if they did, they were really some Chinese-made looking crap. So yeah, Tom welded and painted those up. We got some new mirrors because it had mismatched mirrors. It had one that was like almost chrome and the one that wasn't. And I made this little panel here where the radio used to be, or it would have been. That little switch there turns on the lights on the cowl, which are extremely bright, as you're going to see here. So that turns those on. I didn't want to drill any additional holes in the dash, so that is just double-side taped on there, and there's enough room left on it for additional switches down the line. Now, the only bad part is adding switches. It's hard to get your hand back up here. You know, drilling a hole could be risky, not catching the wires back there. It would either have to do that or, you know, pry it off here and retape it every time. But yeah, there's that. And this little jack, you put a male connector on it and put like an old iPod or something like that, or an old Walkman for the sound bar we put up there. Now that's Bluetooth, or you could use the auxiliary jack that I put down there. So I installed that. Otherwise, it would just be a little cable like this hanging underneath the dash. So we made that. And what else did we do to this thing since? I don't remember if I showed you all this, but we put all LEDs in these housings. The only thing that's not LED up front is the headlights, and this is really funny. Hold on. Let's show you this. Oh, sorry for the shaky camera. Okay, here we go. And let's turn these on. See, these are really bright. But, oh, those aren't so bright with the covers on them. But luckily they won't melt through because they're LED. They're not hot enough to do any damage. But you can see the headlights in comparison. Now my camera makes them look a lot brighter, but they're really kind of yellowish compared to those, and compared to those without the daylighter covers. But yeah, you can have no problem at night. I mean, because even these things with the LEDs in them are intense. But yeah, so it's hopefully going to be out of here real soon. But yeah, that's my day. I think we have a leveling kit coming in and maybe a couple other things. At least when I left yesterday, the only thing on the schedule was a leveling kit. And that could have changed because things change here quickly sometimes. But all right, well, it's like 6 minutes till 8. I'm going to do a little more on the old rat rod here. And I'm going to get to work, I guess. So, hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for the shop cards, everybody. Appreciate it. And I'm going to go to work. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.